Alright, let's take a look at the next problem. So we're going to solve this, and in order to solve this we're going to have to factor. So we start by looking for a GCF. So they have an x in common, so we're going to factor out an x, and we're left with x squared plus 4x plus 13 equals 0. If you haven't done so, now would be a good time to pause the video and try it on your own. So as we look at this, the only numbers that multiply to 13 are 1 and 13, so we're not going to be able to get 4. So we're going to take this, and you could either solve using the quadratic formula, or you could complete the square. And we are going to complete the square on this one. The reason we complete the square is because the middle term is even. This is 4, so it makes it easy to complete the square. So we end up with x squared plus 4x blank equals negative 13. So now look at this 4. You're going to take half of it. So we take half of 4, and then we square it. So half of 4 is 2, 2 squared is 4, and so we have now completed the square. So this is a perfect square, and the whole reason we do that is so that we're able to write this as x plus 2 squared. Negative 13 plus 4 gives us negative 9. So the whole reason we did that is so that we're able to now square root both sides, and we're left with x plus 2 equals. So now if you're going to simplify this, you notice you have the negative from square root of 9 is 3, so you're going to be able to write plus or minus 3i. And so now we just solve it by subtracting 2 to both sides. And so we end up with x equals, you're going to write the integer first, the negative 2 plus or minus 3i. And so right now, if you stop here, we have the positive, we have the negative, so right now we have 2 answers. But remember, since this is a cube, we should have 3 answers, and the one we're missing is the one we had up here, that x. And so this is just saying that x equals 0. So we have these answers and 0. So now we have 1, 2, 3 answers, and so there's our solution. Alright, so let's take a look at number 14. Pause the video, try it on your own, and then come back and check your answer. Alright, so we start with the GCF. So they have an x in common, and so we have x squared minus 6x plus 20. And so we see the 20, and if you start thinking about the factors of 20, we have 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5, and then the 5 repeats. So these are the 3 factors of 20, and there's no way that we can get a 6 out of these, so that means we can't factor this. So we're going to solve this by completing the square. Again, this is a good one to complete the square on because this middle term is even. If this were an odd number, I would use the quadratic formula. Alright, so move the 20 over. And we have x squared minus 6x, leave a space, equals negative 20. So now we complete the square. We look at this, take half of it, so negative 6 over 2 squared. So negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3, squared is plus 9. So we're going to add 9 to both sides. Now we rewrite this as a binomial squared. X minus 3 squared equals negative 20 plus 9 is negative 11. Now we get rid of the square by square rooting, and we're left with x minus 3 equals parentheses around it. The square root of negative 11. I can't take the square root of 11, but I can take the square root of a negative, so it's going to be plus or minus I square root of 11. Now we just move the 3 over, add the 3. So we get x equals 3 plus or minus I rad 11. So we have one answer, we have two answers, but we're looking for our third answer, and our third answer is right here. So remember that this, when x is by itself, you would separate this and make it equal 0. So x is 0. Now I have my three answers.